So the amount of things that are Deadpool in here clearly has you triggered. Now your argument is that we're the items pre the movie. You're saying that my fandom only comes from the movie. You must be new here. There's only a few people in the United States can come close to what I'm doing here.
Deadpool vs. Thanos is brought to you by Hip Hop Marvel's podcast and is the ultimate Marvel debate podcast where chaos meets cosmic power. Hosted by Floyd, the Mad Titan, a diehard Thanos fan who believes in the power of inevitability, and Jigpool, a devoted Deadpool collector with the largest Deadpool collection in the U.S. This show is all about celebrating and debating two of Marvel's most unstoppable forces.
It's your boy Floyd, aka Thanos, the Mad Titan. And to the right of me we have...
You already know Jigpool, Deadpool elitist, Deadpool everything, baby.
Aka Mr. Wade Wilson.
Always.
Yeah, so this is the first edition of Deadpool vs. Thanos. We said this show was going to... we put out that the show was coming.
Right. Quite some time ago, actually.
Yeah, some time ago. And we were developing... the show and trying to figure out what avenue we were going to take and how we were going to get this out to you guys. But basically, Deadpool vs. Thanos, they have a pretty extensive history within the Marvel universe, especially in the comics. Not quite yet in the MCU, but we may see that now.
I really feel like we're going to see some type of hinting towards that at some point.
Right, now that we have, Deadpool in the MCU now.
Yeah.
So we should see some inkling of that, in the future. Maybe Secret Wars. Who knows? I don't know.
Especially with that, because he had a lot of new characters come out during Secret Wars, especially Zenpool, especially when they crossed over to Battleground. There were about 4 special Deadpool characters that came out with that, and Thanos and him had a lot of paths crossing, so that would be really cool to see. Even if they just show it and don't even feed into it, just to reference and acknowledge that, I'd be very happy with, especially because we got Lady Death as well in Agatha. So that's the third piece to put that together for us to show that storyline, because I'd be happy to see it. Yeah,
and that's the common denominator between the two. They're both fascinated with Lady Death.
Oh yeah,
and they both try to prove their love and their loyalty to her, and Death always comes out on top for some reason.
For everybody, you can't escape it.
Right. So, but yeah, this episode, I want to focus on an issue that my dear brother Jig had gone through, but before that. Like I was stating before, the premise of this show is to normally, Jig and I will come across a topic and we will try to debate that.
Right.
Mano a mano, me versus Jig versus me, Dub, and just debate on certain topics. Now,
the problem with that is we don't disagree on a lot of shit. We see a lot of things the same way most times.
Exactly, and that's going to be the hard part.
Right.
But the flip side of that, not every episode of this particular show, not every episode is going to
be a disagreement.
Be a disagreement
for sure.
Yeah, it's. You're going to have a few shows that were not even a few, maybe more than a few. Yeah. Shows that we agree totally on whatever's being, put out there. So
contrasting views isn't always a disagreement. What I mean? It's just two different minds, explaining things and breaking them down the best way possible.
And I know, the comic series, who was the comic series by, actually?
Which one?
Deadpool vs. Thanos. Because I can remember.
I believe it was Daniel Way, if I'm not mistaken. Please don't misquote me. I'm sure if anybody sees that in the comments, then when we do post that, please make sure you tell us the exact one. I'll have an exact answer, but I do believe it was Daniel Way still in charge of that.
I think you may be right.
Don't quote me on that, because even with all of the collection and the knowledge that I have, I'm still learning Deadpool, especially with a lot of the older titles, a lot of the older timing, the artists and the writers. I didn't know a lot of this stuff, you know, and I've always read comics, but I just got to the point in life where I'm able to accumulate things and to have it long enough to study those things. And, you know, with Google and all of that readily accessible knowledge, you know, you have to study those names, titles, placements. So I'm still learning. So don't quote me on that answer, guys.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I was saying that to say that even though the title is Deadpool versus Thanos, it's more. This show is really more to showcase how similar and how alike we are.
Indeed, because that was the battle between them two. They were so much alike.
Yeah.
That's why the battle took as long as it did. 100%.
Exactly. And it stems from my fascination with Thanos. As a kid, I've always been fascinated with Thanos. And it's crazy. Even as a kid, I looked at him as a hero because of what he stood
his
for.
Ideology, 100%.
His ideology.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people may not agree, but
it was preservation based. It wasn't greed based.
It wasn't greed.
Yeah, it's different. It's different. Yeah. His methodology, well, that's the debatable part, but his ideology was 100% fair.
Exactly. And although my collection isn't as extensive as Jig's, you know, I happen to have a few Thanos items here and there, you know, a few gauntlets and stuff like that here and there. So, and then to Jig's, you know, point, like, in which we will discuss, his collection, you know, he has the biggest collection in the United States, you know what I'm saying, as we speak.
Right.
As we speak, and we will discuss that because they tried to play with you. They tried to play with my brother.
Oh yeah, they did.
You know, they tried to play with my brother, but and he, you know, he's a Deadpool enthusiast and loves Deadpool to death. So this is, you know, pretty much why it was a no-brainer to come up with a show of this caliber. So yeah, without further ado, we're gonna continue on with the topic at hand, which is so. I'm gonna tell you my side,
indeed,
and then you can go in on your side. So, I want to say this was, I forgot exactly what day it was because I know it was last week. It was because you were online, like going at it with a few people, and basically, so I was scrolling all of my socials, and I saw you put up a post about how people were discrediting your collection. Right. They were pretty much saying that you don't have the biggest collection in the U.S. I've known for the longest that you did have that because you showed me the proof of the Guinness Book of World Records.
Yeah, I showed you in person.
Yeah, in person. Mm-hmm. You know, and,
I never posted it online.
And even on top of that, I did when I first met you, when I first seen your collection, I said there's a guy overseas claiming to be, you know, which you gave me the spill on this guy. I'm not going to repeat the dude's name,
right?
But
he was never the issue anyway. No, I will say that he was never a problem,
and he wasn't the issue. You explained that. And you told me it was a stipulation though because he's overseas.
Indeed.
Correct?
Yeah.
So break down
the beginning,
the difference between your collection and dudes. I forgot his name to even.
His name is Gaz. Okay. They call him Gaz. His real name is Gareth something. I'm not sure of his last. I can't remember his last name, but he goes by Gaz.
And by no means this is no like slight to him.
Oh yeah, not at all,
like,
not at all.
Like
because he never once showed me any disrespect. It's definitely not him. But the story starts around him.
Okay, so yeah, walk me through it. So
originally, 2021 was when I originally applied for the non-existent vacant Deadpool record. There wasn't one. But you know, my mistake, you know, people always tell you keep your cards close to your chest. Right. You know, you don't give away your secrets because sometimes people use that and they did. And I talked about, you know, attempting to get the record prior And it took me some time, and somebody in Northern Ireland, the guy Gaz, saw that, and he went out and bought everything at once, all at once, which, in my opinion, my humble opinion, isn't collecting. That's acquiring. That's an acquisition. That's a purchase. That's different. Yes, I buy things. That's still, if you want to deal with definitions, yeah, it's still a purchase. But
it's more about the mission. It's about. I mean, trust me. Trust me. Look, you're talking to a guy who's a Thanos fan,
right?
Who went around the universe collecting stones.
It takes time.
So it comes with everything comes with a different story and a different background to it.
Right.
So I'm
glad you said that.
So it's more. It's a little different than just, hey, I got money. I'm gonna just get everything Deadpool, and now I have a collection.
Right. Each item comes with an experience.
When you do that, you only have one story to tell. Hey,
wow,
I went out
wow.
one. No, seriously,
that's perfect. Man. Yeah, that is perfect.
Yeah, when you do that, you have one story to tell.
Yeah.
To be able to be on TikTok, these social media platforms that you're on, and to be able to explain every meticulous little thing in your collection, speaks volumes because you took the time to collect it.
I appreciate that. And I believe that's why his videos and page didn't do well, because, he even paid to push some of his videos, and it didn't do well because even with, him sitting in the room in front of his collection, it seemed real disingenuous.
What story do you have to tell? You get what I'm saying?
Right. There's nothing connected to any of it.
I can go out, if I had the money,
mm-hmm.
let's say I had the money, and there was no end to the money that I have. And I went out and said, you know what? I want to get every Thanos piece there is. I want to get every gauntlet, every stone, every Thanos piece.
That's a moment.
I go and inquire it, right? And now I want to make content. I couldn't tell you half of the shit that I have. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I couldn't tell you the only thing I could tell you is, hey, this is all my shit.
I referenced that. And a good analogy to that is like my wife. Because my wife buys everything in the house, she knows every single clothing item for 5 people. She knows every sock, every underwear, every pair of pants. My son can come out the door with a pair of jeans. I didn't buy those. Where'd you get those from?
But because it comes with
an experience. Every item comes with a moment and a story. Yep.
These.
Good job, brother.
Even though these things are stationary, these are living things to you.
100%.
You get what I'm saying?
100%.
Every bit of them has their own story.
Yep.
Every bit of them needs different types of care.
Yep.
Every piece is, you know what I'm saying? Every piece is worth different things or different amount of money.
Some of them don't have a monetary value. Some of them have sentimental
value.
Oh,
yeah. Some of them have. Yeah. Some of them have. Yeah. Exactly. So, I get. When you said his name is Gas, when he stepped out and said, "Hey, I have the largest collection,"
and he reached out to me. He reached out to me beforehand.
Which it was a big collection. I saw it on YouTube.
2,250
and I saw
pieces.
I saw his collection before I saw yours.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was the end all be all. Before I met you, I thought he was the end all be all. And just so happened, I'm on. I think I ran across you on Instagram, and somehow you popped up on my algorithm. Well, not somehow.
Right.
I mean, if I love comic book shit, it's going to pop up on my algorithm.
It just meant to happen at some point, I guess.
So you pop up on my algorithm. I was like, oh, shit, he brother too? Okay. Oh, yeah, mad Deadpool shit. Like, what? Like, damn. So then I find out you're in the same fucking town as me. So I said, I got to see this shit for myself.
That was my first in-person interview. That was honestly was the beginning of me changing the way I felt about what I was doing. It made me feel so fucking important. Like when you guys showed up, when you Wiz showed up, him with the camera, him taking the B-roll shots, man, like I felt like a fucking star at that moment. I did, man. That shit was awesome for me, man.
We appreciate you just letting us into your home to view this amazing collection because, like I said, I thought he was the end all be all. So
a lot of people did.
Then you explained to me your story, and for those that haven't checked out the In-Betweeners episode with Jig, can check it out. It's in our past episode.
Yes.
In that episode, he explains, I go through the whole thing of how he started collecting and everything. You know what I mean? So go check that out if you haven't. And while I'm at it, please listen, share, rate, and subscribe everywhere you get your podcast across the board. I should have did that in the beginning.
It's all good. We got it in there right there.
This is the first episode.
Yes.
It's the first episode,
You got it
so
in there.
we're a little rusty,
Nice.
with this episode.
It's all good.
But yeah, to get back to that, like I said, I thought my man Gav was the end all be all, and then I met you, and then later on down the line, you told me, I've applied to be in the Guinness Book of World Records for the largest Deadpool collection because there was a vacancy. There was nobody in that space.
No, there was no applications. There was no pending applications. There was no one there. It wasn't until I posted what I was doing and the length of the process is when he devised his plan. Now, you can send it through snail mail. You have to verify every item one by one. And that was the other part. He paid a lot of money. He bought a warehouse. He bought an empty warehouse. This is what I mean with why it's an acquisition. He bought an empty warehouse, had it tailored, had shelves made, and he had people help him with this. It was like a good crew of 30 different, I don't even want to say Indians, 30 different people that helped him with this. And he put little index cards of numbers by each item, and they all had their own space. So that's another reason why the collection looked as massive as it did, because every item's out of the box in its own shelf with at least 6 inches on each side. So that's going to take up an entire warehouse.
Right.
Again, this is 2021, and his record that he got was 2,250 items. I already had 2,300 then. I was already had more than him, but he paid. It's a $12,349.83 fee, and you can have a Guinness Book of World Records adjudicator come to you and count the stuff for you. It pays for their airfare, their hotel, and their efforts to count the stuff for you, and it verifies it. And you ever see the guys on Instagram, on TV, where the plaque is already there with them? Mm-hmm. They paid for that to happen. So it's all content for both sides, but I don't have that extra money.
I say we start a damn GoFundMe, bro. No, on some real shit.
Somebody said that before.
I know that sounds cheesy and shit and cliche as hell, but I only say that but for any other fan out there of any particular, medium of pop culture, like like we were saying, these items, they're sentimental to you, and like I said, they have a story, and you're able to explain that.
And it's crazy you said that. I'm glad you said GoFundMe
for each and every one of these items, and for people that are like-minded, I say, a GoFundMe would be, that's like a no-brainer. I know it sounds cliche because it will help you get, because especially if we know you have the most Deadpool items, we got to make that a reality too. You know what I mean?
Right. And I appreciate that. That would be awesome. But it's crazy that is a perfect segue into some of the issues I'm having, because if I was to create a GoFundMe, which in a sense is a crowdsource funding,
what are they going to think you're going to?
They're going to tell me.
Think you're going to get more Deadpool shit?
Because I look the way I do,
right? It
would be. I would get called a scammer at some point, because it's like, if you got the money to buy all this stuff, pay that shit yourself.
Right. True. I mean, I see it. It's like it puts you in the corner.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest. You're not the first person to say that, and I really feel like with the real people that actually support, they would have no problem with it, because you got to think about how much money they give those rich people. Like,
that's who we would be targeting.
Right, our people.
Yeah, we would be targeting like people that, like I said, like-minded. We're not targeting just the average,
Right.
You have a huge following online.
Yeah, I'm trying to get more. Yeah, and I appreciate that.
On social media. So we're talking to those people that value and ask you questions about your collection. and they really want to know, and because you're giving them knowledge,
Right.
But and hope too,
Right. I get that comment the most,
because they may not be a Deadpool fan, but they might, somebody out there like Squirrel Girl and wants everything Squirrel Girl.
100. Weird character. It's a weird character, I think, from Star Wars named Greedo. My early TikTok days, and he was like, I found your page, and he was like, the dedication you show to this one character makes me realize that I can be the way that I want to be with this character Greedo. And maybe like 2 months later, he posted a video and tagged me in it, and you saw a whole wall, nothing but I don't even know where you can find this much of that character from, but he did it, and I thought that was dope.
And that's collecting.
Right.
That's the art.
Yep.
That's the art of collecting.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
It
Because
is.
the fact that you said, I don't even know where you can get that much stuff like that.
And he
have to go look
searched.
for it. Yeah,
he
you have to go look for it.
searched. That's collecting. You know, you got to find them all.
You have to go look for it, and that's the thing. You know, anybody can just acquire I would never want to acquire a collection like that. And I'm not once again, I'm not knocking my man.
And that's what I was saying. It's not a disrespectful thing.
You said he reached out to
you. He did. Prior to the adjudicator coming to him, he did. He told me that he heard about me, and he wanted to let me know that he was going to pay. He told me that he was going to get it, and good luck in trying to get it back. It's pretty much how the message ended. That's, and it's like friendly competition. That's why I never had any ill will towards him, because he was always super friendly. Right. Always. Even in his videos, he's really, really nice and polite. It's just, you can see the disconnection between him and the items. You can see there's no connection between him and the items because it was an acquisition rather than an experience. So, I got comments all the way from it's a green screen to I need to grow up. It's always you guys meaning you guys. You need to go take care of your kids. Like, all of these videos are still up on there with those comments, and I found a really good way to kill those kind of trolls with kindness. It just makes more motivation. Make funny videos, and I always try to do it in a funny way, even on down to a video I posted recently where a guy told me I was on his rob list. Yeah, wow. Buddy. Yeah. So,
Yeah, let him come try. You think a guy that loves Deadpool is gonna let you rob him?
Yeah, so and a lot of times my dedicated followers will roast these trolls before I can even get to them.
Exactly. They need to look at that one of the TikToks you did when you dragging the bag.
That's the exact video I'm talking about. That I made that video in response to the guy saying that I'm on his rob list.
So we on the same page.
That's the exact one.
All right, we're on the same page.
So the moral of the topic of this story is what happened last week with one of my posts. Rob Liefeld has a Facebook group, and I joined it some time ago. I've been in it for quite a while, and I thought it was a Deadpool fan group, but it's not. I found out the unfortunate hard way that it's just a Rob Liefeld fan page. He just so happens to be the creator of Deadpool. A lot of my followers are in the group as well. So when he posts something like an obscure item or something that would be deemed as rare, and people know that I have it or seen me with it before, they'll tag me in his posts. So in his group, he made this post with a stack of DVDs, again, that I already have, I've already had. I really don't need his autograph on them. He says, no one, quote unquote, no one has more Deadpool items than me. No, I won't take the time to make it official as of yet, but just believe I got them. So the post was up for maybe about 23 minutes before I saw it. But when I did see it, there was already about maybe 115 comments. And out of those 115 comments, I'll say more than about 75% of them were people defending me specifically. And then there were people tagging me directly in the post. So after me seeing it, then I check my inbox. You see I'm tagged in it countless times. And you could see Rob Liefeld commenting to some of those people. There was a time before where he was talking directly to me. So, I let it go for a second, because when I did join the group, I would post some of my videos from my page. And again, I don't need promotion. So everything I do is just to promote my love for Deadpool.
Right.
And it's a Deadpool group. So if I have items that I know no one has seen before, why not post them to the group so they can see them? But in these groups, they'll be having detailed conversations about Deadpool items or secret items, and then I'll show those items, and it's like, hey, you need to leave. You're showing off. That really doesn't make sense to me. You guys are discussing this item. Here you go. But it's because when they see me with the item, now it's become
it's a problem.
And this is Rob Liefeld's quote that about my post. He says, "This is his comment. Everybody loves a good boast post as the next person, but take your TikTok somewhere else."
He said that to you
Directly.
Wow.
Cool.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Okay, so rewind to when I met Rob Liefeld in person. I posted the videos. It was a really cool experience. He was super polite.
So this was after you met him, or this is before?
The back and forth I just told you about happened last week.
Oh shit! This is already after the fact.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What I'm rewinding to now is when I first met him in person, and I'm explaining this now is because I showed the video on how friendly and how accommodating he was and the free stuff he gave me. Let me be clear. The only reason he was nice to me because we had already spent an entire year of him owing me almost $800 worth of items. I had ordered off of his website some special in that top box right there on the right-hand side. Mm-hmm. It was a stack of autographed exclusive comics, and somehow my order got missed in the mail. Contact him, and I would let time go by. He's in California. He's a busy dude, and I dig that. And this was during filming. The movie I dig it. Mm-hmm. Month would go by. I would check in, send an email. Hey, anything? I wouldn't hear anything. I would let another month go by. I know he may not see himself as a celebrity, but everybody else does. So I respected the busy schedule shit. You know what I mean? Right. What he's doing is a side hustle with his merchandise. Cool. Mm-hmm. 2 months turn into 3 months. 3 months turn into 6 months. 6 months turn into 8 months. 9 months turn into almost a year. So me doing my due diligence, I find out he's doing a signing in Greensboro. I contact his assistant, David Hong, and I said, hey, Dave, you think you guys are coming close? Can I pick my stuff up in person? It's been almost a year. Cool. He sends me the tickets for me to come over there because, again, he does a lot of meet and greets, a lot of signings. You pay for every photo. You pay for every signature. Nothing's free with this guy.
Right.
So, the grace is over. I'm good with that anyway. There's no more grace with it. I've given it enough grace. I've given it enough politeness. And yeah, he's the creator of Deadpool, but he's a dick at most times.
See, and that's what I wanted to like, because as a person,
he's a dick at most times. It's crazy.
That's a Deadpool fan. How difficult do you think like collecting will be, or if that, from here on out? Because
for me,
because I mean, if he's the creator, right? Mm-hmm. So a lot of things that you collect, you definitely want, like even newer things, you may want to have a signature on.
I don't need his.
You get what I'm.
I do.
Playing,
how would that help me in the future?
How would that look? And I'm only playing
the devil's advocate. Yeah, you're asking real questions
to that point. You know what I'm saying?
All right. I'm gonna tell you the same way. I got the question about Ryan Reynolds. I can't stop because of that. I liked.
No, and by no means I'm not telling you to stop.
Oh, no, not saying, this. No, I'm talking about with him.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Specifically.
I got you.
I liked Deadpool prior to Ryan Reynolds. So most people feel like he would be a dick in person, Ryan Reynolds. Mm-hmm. Most. And for the most with Rob Liefeld, it would be a high 99% would feel like he would be a dick in person.
I mean, you know that saying. They say don't meet your idols. Yeah.
So me referencing my first meeting with him being super pleasant, I'm putting the parameters on it that it was only pleasant because he was being apologetic because he had already done me. Yeah. He had already done me wrong for a year. So the pleasantries I got.
So even those were dickish.
So
it's like on top of the
right.
Like
right.
You felt that's what you were owed. Like at the least,
very much so.
That's what I was owed. You know what I mean? So
fast forward to last week, I see this post. So I got to the point where I'm up to 100 tags in it. So I had to make the video. And I explained, hey, you guys don't have to send me this. And I explained that I do believe he's talking to me. And I explained why. I've never posted online my verification from Guinness. Simply because most people believe I was just bullshit. They just thought I was pandering. Me saying I got the largest collection. And the fact that so many people thought I was bullshitting is the reason I never posted it. I showed a few people in person. You know, a few people were there for it. But man, I don't care. I stopped caring a long time ago that people believed me when I got that green screen
trust me,
comment.
Hip Hop Marvelites, I can attest. I've seen this. You know, I've seen the verification with my own eyes. And then on top of that, I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, this shit is not a green screen. Like, for someone to have to, like, I mean, just think about it. He's showing you up close in person a lot of these items out of this collection. He has to put them somewhere. Where the fuck you think he putting it? So he just putting a green screen up and just showing you items?
Yeah, I had so many videos where I literally just had to walk up and, you know, touch stuff, pick it up, put it down.
Right.
Just, you know, and I got over that after a while as well.
They want you to go and like wiggle the fucking
literally,
curtain.
yeah, like, man. It got crazy after a while. So, you know, I posted the video and I had to let people know that I like this year I'm standing on every bit of business, man. It just is what it is. I won't be disrespected.
No.
And it's not about cockiness, you know, and it's because, you know, when I played the humble role, they felt like they can step over me. Like even on back to the movie premiere, I was promised to be there. Like when I posted that video about me being here, it's like, oh, what made you think you should have been there? Blah, blah, blah. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this. I was promised one. And there were very few black creators there, and the ones that were LGBTQ. Again, this is no slight to anyone, but this is the way it went. And this is my observations. You can look it up yourself, and then you do your own observations. You can gauge who was there, and you say, well, how do you know? Okay, look at the people, then go look at their profiles. Most of those people put in their profiles their affiliations, and the black creators that were there, their affiliations were strictly that. So I don't know whether if that was the reason, because I don't affiliate openly with that or whatever the case may be.
And once again, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong at all
but
with
that's
that.
just how that happened.
But yeah, so in a way you feel kind of discriminated yourself.
Absolutely. All the way around the board. You know what I mean? I dedicated my entire life to this brand, and then, you know, all of the push that I did leading up to the movie, you know, I have commercials right now online with Entertainment Earth, with Kid Robot, with Arizona Iced Tea. I don't know. I would have to go through my stuff and my other, like my videos to remember all of them, but it's like I got skipped over. Ryan Reynolds said I'm not viral enough. All right, cool. This is, quote unquote, is why I got denied to the premiere. This was my only real life correspondence with the actor that plays Deadpool, is him telling me I'm not good enough to come. So, does that stop me from loving Deadpool? No, he's the actor. Again, I like and loved Deadpool way prior to this man playing this character. So that's not going to stop me. And yes, Rob Liefeld is the creator, but he retired. And Deadpool's going to continue to be created, continue to be drawn, continue to be able to be put in projects, comics, and I'm going to continue to collect.
Yeah.
Do I need his autograph? I have it already. I have a stamp one. I have a real one. I have a collection of books no one else has directly from him. That's good enough for me. So if somebody asks about Rob Duffo autographs, I got some. Will I get any fresh ones? Probably not.
Right.
But it is what it is, man. I'm not collecting Rob Liefeld. I'm collecting Deadpool. And he was there in the beginning. He had some fresh runs at There's 7 Slaughters. He did the new Deadpool team up. I got them all. I do. I have every single variant, every single extra copy. Will I get an autograph? If I don't, that's okay. But at the same time, if he is the person he says he is, how he feels on free speech and saying what you feel and what's right, he wouldn't be mad at what I'm saying right now, because he knows what he did, you know. And it's crazy. I'm ranting. I guess that's what I was supposed to do. And you look at these Facebook groups, they only really like the idea of collecting. They have these detailed conversations about these items, and then when you show them, I don't know if you've seen that meme. You're like, the lady, you need to leave. That's literally how you get treated. So it's really no point being there, and they rather pontificate and debate hypothetical situations.
I don't think you're showing it off to be, on some cocky shit.
I never am. I don't. That's
like, are you like, they make it seem like, if they're talking about a certain item within a group, and then you come on, like, you make a video, and you just like, y'all talk about this, motherfuckers? None of y'all got this.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and you waving it in the face, and you like.
I've never been braggadocious. Like, I stopped posting because I started feeling like I was being braggadocious just because of the comments I was getting. I put myself in my own funk because of those type of comments, but I got so many people that want to see these things. Fuck y'all, man.
Later for that, and just cater to the people. You got a lot of supporters. Yeah. I see them. Yeah. And just, the hell with the and that's what I kind of pertain to, this podcast. You know what I'm saying? As a whole, like later we're catering to the people that
really want to be here,
really
man.
Want to be here
for sure. Everybody else don't even matter.
You have a choice in the matter to not listen to us. Like, we're on, wherever you get your podcast, but you know how many more podcasts there are out there? If you
many.
Yeah, if you disagree with what we're talking about, you don't like it, you don't feel us, you feel whatever, like our format is not right, whatever the case may be, you're more than welcome to go elsewhere. And that's that. Like,
no more, no less. There's no other way to explain that.
We're not in the business of letting other people dictate what we do.
At no point. Because you're not going to stop me.
We are in the business of appreciating who support us.
Right.
Everyone who supports us. We're in the business of appreciating them. With that said, that's one for the books. That's one for the books, man. First episode of Deadpool versus Thanos.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Appreciate y'all even listening.
Yeah, most definitely. Hey, I need y'all to hit up the Hip Hop Marvels Gmail, hiphopmarvels@gmail.com. And if y'all willing to get this GoFundMe going for my boy Jig, let's do this, man. So he can, get
these people out here, I guess.
Show these people like that there's nothing to joke about over here. This is not like some old clout chasey type thing he's doing.
I got that. That's the comment. That's the one. Oh my God.
Yeah, he's
clout chasing. I don't need any of that, man. I'm already here.
Yeah. He's not clout chasing. And then not to mention, like, the shit that's behind us, like, is not it. Like, he has a whole nother room.
Yeah, man. That's all I could put out because I don't want my wife to be like, you taking up too much space.
He has a room that you can't even get in because there's so much shit in there. Like, you know what I mean? So, man, it's crazy. I saw that.
I appreciate you letting me get that off my chest because
y'all seen that.
They've been playing with me lately.
No, I saw that and I was like, yo, they trying to play my nigga.
Yeah.
Man, forget that. Not happening.
And like I said, I've never posted. In 2021, it's 2025. I've never felt the need to post that online until now because I never felt the need to show proof. I knew I had it, and that was good enough for me.
And that's it. That's all that matters, man. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
With that said, man, we are out.
Peace, people.
It's your boy, Floyd, a.k.a. Thanos, the Mad Titan.
Jigpool, Deadpool Elitist. You already know. Deadpool everything, baby.
Deadpool everything. We're out.
Peace.